think one of the most important things about LiaoHu is its connection to pottery and pottery making. And like we heard from Mr. Du before, thousands of years making pottery here. And one of the symbols of that cultural heritage is the dragon kiln. This amazing structure we see all over LiaoHu. It's a symbol of kind of both tangible and intangible heritage all at the same time. And you see it's built onto the side of this hill, and each kiln has a different chamber, makes its way all the way up. The heat climbs up to the chimney at the end. They have festivals around these kilns, so they all get sealed up maybe once every month, and they have festivals. They kind of say prayers, they do all sorts of ritual activities to bless these kilns and to bless the firing. And then after a few days they break it all open, everybody has a party and a festival, and it's an amazing experience. So this is a really important symbolic structure for LiaoHu. So what we did with that is we had some fun with that, and we built a square that people can have rituals within those squares. What if this piece of heritage spilled out into a space? So I present to you our dragon square. This is two dragons, a cultural dragon, a fire dragon. This is the head of the fire dragon. The tail you see goes off there into the distance on the left. And on the right hand side symbolizes the landscape of LiaoHu, the environment of LiaoHu, the river, which is just the other side of these houses here. So this is the water dragon, which wraps into these two things and creates these spaces in the middle, these squares. So that kind of, these two dragons are dancing with each other, intertwined with each other. And it's that dance, that sort of ritualistic dance, that's bound into the heritage of this place as well. So we've used this game between the two dragons to form public space. So from here now, this view from above, we can see the dance of these two dragons, the water dragon, the fire dragon. Now, our early designs were slightly different. We had a grass roof on the water dragon. We found through our research there's kind of cultural issues with grass roofs. But what we did keep was the timber structure for the water dragon represents nature, and the storm water gardens, you see, so the rain falls off into the storm garden. It's like a rain dragon. And then the fire dragon is the one of steel and glass, and this becomes the head. The kiln becomes the head of the fire dragon. And as these two mighty creatures dance with each other, it creates space for people to dance. So this becomes a dancing square within the bodies, the dancing bodies of these two dragons mixed together. And the whole thing is wrapped into this landscape. The other thing we've done down here is we've created an amphitheatre. So as you can see, the whole thing sits in a basin, an amphitheatre. So performances can happen here. People can sit around and watch those performances in this theatrical space as the play, the dance of the dragons plays itself out with activities and events and exhibitions and processions and rituals all happen within this crucible of the dancing dragon. Okay, so we've just seen a potter in this small manufactory here working in a very traditional way, exactly the same way that you see all around LiaoHu, this sort of hands on the wheel, very skillful, very traditional method. So every project has multiple meanings. All architectural projects should have layers that you unpick. So look again now at the square here, the dancing square, the dragon square. Now imagine this as two hands, or two potters' hands around the wheel. And within this central space, there'll be the community. These are the two of LiaoHu's hands shaping the community within the square. So not only have we had this dragon story, we have the idea of the community itself of LiaoHu within the hands of the craftsman. It represents this story between culture, heritage, landscape, environment, everything, all wound together in one place. So let's talk about the dragon kiln. Now I'm like naturally fascinated by this. I'm from a place in the UK called Stoke-on-Trent, which is famous for pottery making. So for me, pottery, kilns, clay, fire is part of my history. You know, my parents, my grandparents came through that kind of industry. The kilns are very different where I'm from. They're like bottle kilns, but here we have this dragon kiln. You see each chamber, as the heat rises, it works its way through. And when they're firing here, these holes, flame shoots out of these holes as the whole dragon just comes alive.
Yeah, those holes.
Beautiful. It's a piece of art. It's a story. It's a physical story. And this is a community kiln. So many potters will bring their products, bring their wares together, and collectively, like Chuan culture, is about collectiveness. It's about coming together. This kiln is exactly about Chuan culture.
The storage of the timbers.
Timber storage here, yes. So the idea you have all these potters coming together, all firing at once, all celebrating at once, all hoping and praying at once that it goes well, because that's their month's income then. You see, there's all sorts of old pottery. We'll look at this later. This very, very unique for this area. Really cool. And then the other thing is I like about the body of the dragon is like the scales of the dragon. It's made up of layers of old pottery and layers of time as it gets hardened skin, as the thing just inhabits the life of the people that live here. We've tried to capture this in the materials we've used. So we've used very rustic materials. See on the pathways and in the walls. You see here gabions filled with old pottery. This is all the sort of local broken pottery. This place is made out of LiaoHu. It's grown out of here. And then look in the walls as well. Look, you know, is it a wall? Is it an exhibition? Who knows? I don't know where one stops and one begins, but it's a physical manifestation of the culture of place. Because as we get further down now, you can see that amphitheatre starting to happen. You can see the layers as it drops down. And then this is the fire dragon here with the steel work. All the detail of the steel work is inspired by local architecture. And over this side, we have the rainwater dragon, the timber structure. And you can see it's all inspired by the architecture of the kiln. Look at the roof of the kiln. This was one of our inspirations about how we do this square. So all this will spill out when the firing happens and it becomes a festival, which then bleeds into this event space that we've made. The other thing we've done here is we've put some retail opportunities in. So there's some areas, covered areas. Obviously, you can see here, it's very sunny here, beautiful weather, but it gets hot. So one of the biggest issues as architects we have to deal with now and urban designers is the rising temperatures of cities, of the kind of urban heat island. Yeah. So when you look at the surface, there's a very special finish quality of LiaoHu pottery. And we'll show you some to give you an idea of what that means. It's based upon the baking of ash into the surface of the pottery. So we took references of that, were inspired by that, and that's what helped us lay out the brickwork and the hard landscaping in here. So it feels like the surface of some of the LiaoHu pottery. So there's lots of little details that we try to capture. Even when you see, look at this now. So these are roof tiles in here. We've used waste materials. We've used recycled materials. This is a square that is not representative, not just representative of the town. It's literally made from the town. It's made from the materials of LiaoHu. I like the cascade. It drops down into this space. And then the other thing is there's all these roots then that just navigate through the undergrowth and they find their way to the front where you have all the rainwater gardens at the bottom end. So we have the fire at this end and we have the water at this end. It's a kind of slightly feng shui. So all the rainwater gardens. So there's the head of the rainwater dragon this end, the head of the fire dragon on this end. All stormwater gardens, these. Because what that does is it reduces the load on the drainage system. By keeping the rainwater here, it permeates through the ground itself, and it doesn't overload the drainage system. Because when you put a lot of hard landscaping in, you get a lot of localized flooding. So by bringing in and incorporating the sustainable drainage system around this whole site, it mitigates that. We've also maximized the amount of landscaping. As you now look back, the setting of this Dance of Dragons is a setting which is filled with landscape.
Yeah, there's two dragons make that fire kiln very powerful.
Oh, it's very powerful.
King's like kiln is like a king.
It is, absolutely. But it's about celebrating this place, isn't it?
Mm.
It's about celebrating the culture. The other thing we've tried to do here is not overly be commercial. There needs to be some commercial activity, so we've put a few shops in, but most of them we want empty, because this is places where people need to sit, need to socialise. I'm looking forward to seeing this filled with people playing mahjong, drinking tea, and socialising and enjoying their lives. So we've tried to have the maximum amount of social space and a balanced
Fully open
space.
And the shop, close the shop and open.
I hope that people don't fill this in too much. I mean, obviously, people always will, add their work to things, which is great. We encourage that, but I hope that we keep this openness, this social landscape. It's Chuan culture for me. This is absolutely Chuan culture. So we see now the head of the fire dragon sitting as the king at the head of this dance, and we're also within the stormwater gardens of the head of the rain dragon. Comes from the river. So all of these are all stormwater gardens here, all planted appropriately. Also notice how the materiality changes a little bit. So there's a lot more brick on this side, a lot more fired materials. A brick is a fired material, right? But over here, we have more natural materials, the stones. This belongs to the realm of the water dragon, whereas the bricks belong to the realm of the fire dragon. So the materiality is having a conversation with each other. It's cool. Can't wait to see it full of people. Let me show you one more cool thing.